Are you listening?
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey there, it's Joe Hicks, and welcome to Your Success. I'm very excited. I have a guest, an old friend of mine that I've known for some time now, and that's Nick Andrews. And Nick Andrews is he's a real estate investor. He's a realtor. He's a man of many trades and in the business world as an entrepreneur, and just really great that he could make it. Nick, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Joe.
FundMyBusinessAZ.com. Him and David Prom started this company, and I had an interview with David, and we talked a little bit about it, and I want Nick's insight as well, because it is an awesome opportunity for local Arizona residents to get involved in investing in companies that they may not be able to do. So I don't want to steal Nick's thunder. I'm going to let him talk a little bit about it. So without any further ado, Nick Andrews, it's all yours.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to see you, pal.
Nice seeing you.
You know, I have known you for a long time. I love seeing you, pal. And I'm happy for your new radio program or your new interviewing program. It's awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it very much. So, let's talk about FundMyBusinessAZ.com. This is an amazing piece of legislation that happened last April 15th, House Bill 2591. That House bill being signed by Governor Doug Ducey created our business model, FundMyBusinessAZ.com. What changed? Well, what changed is when he signed that law, it opened the door for non-accredited investors to invest in startup companies. Nationally, it's not allowed. Matter of fact, it's a securities violation. And so when our governor took the lead here, he did this as a job creation initiative. And so what else changed? Well, entrepreneurs can also now solicit to folks over the internet, which wasn't allowed before. Usually only accredited investors, folks that had $1 million net worth or better, were even allowed to invest in small businesses, and they could never advertise it on the internet because you had to sign confidentiality agreements in order to see private placement documents. So this is really a big shift in allowing folks to have a resource for alternative funding. I'll just share with you, I didn't wake up one day deciding I wanted to own and operate an equity crowdfunding portal. David and I had decided that we were going to use equity crowdfunding to build a trampoline center here in Scottsdale. And we had taken the time to put a business plan in place and had our operating agreement and our private placement disclosure document put together, and we identified a location, and we felt that there's lots of kids in that area and lots of parents that would like to invest in trampoline center. So we had it in our hearts that we were going to use equity crowdfunding. And what we found was there wasn't an equity crowdfunding portal available. And believe me, we looked. I mean, we really looked. We went to the Arizona Small Business Association.
What about like Kickstarter or Indiegogo or anything of those types?
Well, let me share the background on crowdfunding because it's a mixed bag. So when you think of Kickstarter, what that is rewards-based crowdfunding, and so you might get a mug or some swag or a cooler, but you're never going to have equity in the company. There's also GoFundMe. GoFundMe is donation-based crowdfunding where you actually just give your money to somebody because you like them or they need help and you feel compassionate, but you get nothing in return. Well, with equity crowdfunding, which is in my opinion the holy grail of crowdfunding, you're actually buying stock ownership in these startup companies, and depending on how well they do is depending on how well your investment in these companies do. So it's awesome in that you get to go up in value as the companies increase in value.
Now you say this is something that Governor Doug Ducey did for the state of Arizona. Is it, and it's not legal in any other state, or is it legal in some states? How does that work with the federal laws?
So far, there's been 30 states that have been had their governors approve intrastate crowdfunding. Back when the Jobs Act was signed, there's crowdfunding language in there, but the government didn't act, and so governors decided to take initiative, and there's been crowdfunding, intrastate crowdfunding in Georgia, and there's about a half a dozen deals that have gotten funded in Texas already. So Arizona, I think, is at the forefront because we've got a lot of folks behind us here at the Arizona Small Business Association, the Arizona Collaboratory, the Arizona Tech Council, the Arizona Commerce Authority. We have a good group of folks that are behind us and supporting our initiative. But this is the governor's job creation initiative, and it is for Arizona residents only, Arizona entrepreneurs. The money's got to stay here in the state, and it's got to create jobs here in Arizona.
For you who don't know, our governor, Doug Ducey, was the founder of the Cold Stone Creameries that you frequent to have ice cream and what have you, and he's our governor, so he's very much an entrepreneur, very much.
Yes. So what I wanted to finish, what I was sharing a little earlier, is we went to Arizona Small Business Association, we went to the Tech Council, we went to the Collaboratory, we went to the Arizona Commerce Authority. We were trying to find an equity crowdfunding portal to host our project. And what we found out is there simply was not one. And there's a gentleman who used to be the CEO of the Arizona Small Business Association. His name is Rick Murray. Great guy. And David and I met with him, and Rick encouraged us to build this crowdfunding portal because there were other entrepreneurs that were also needing an equity crowdfunding portal to showcase their projects and reach potential investors from around the state. So I always like giving him the credit for, encouraging us, because it was, it was great for him to do that, and we did take the initiative, and we're very thankful to be open. We have our first issuer is on the website, and he's already raising money, so that's very exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what are the company goals? What are you guys trying to, what are you reaching for?
Well, we want to get really good at Arizona intrastate crowdfunding first before we start branching out and doing other crowdfunding. I mean, it would be natural for us to migrate into Title III, Reg A, Reg D offerings and expand nationally and maybe one day even internationally. But for today, we want to get really good at Arizona intrastate and help as many entrepreneurs as we can, create as many jobs as we can, and work to keep investments within our state. So that's really where our heart is right now. And I want to share something with you, Joe. We had a kind of a team meeting, David and I. We had to make our mind up on this equity crowdfunding portal if it was going to be for real estate and real estate developers only, because that's our background. It made a lot of sense for us to just have it be real estate and development. And there was just something in our heart that said, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there who need this, and so that's why our web portal is open to any industry. And right now we're being contacted by medical devices, movies, real estate deals, phone apps. I mean, it's just on and on and on. I met a gentleman this morning. He's got a screen printing business. He wants to expand his operations. I mean, it's exciting to meet Arizona entrepreneurs who have their hand on the pulse of growing, and that we're able to help facilitate their growth. So we're excited about where we are.
Awesome. Tell me, how much can a person, an individual, invest, and what are the regulations of the investment?
Thank you. So first, I'm going to start by saying that folks that are accredited, what that means is that they have a net worth of $1 million or more. People that are non-accredited fall under that guideline. Well, what we learned is only 8% of Arizona residents are accredited. So now, over 90% more Arizona residents are allowed to invest in small businesses. Over 90%. So, and any Arizona resident can invest up to $10,000 in a calendar year. So that's, it's also very exciting. I want to talk a little bit about the entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur can raise up to $1 million. without an audited financial, or up to $2.5 million if they've taken the time to go through a completed financial audit within the prior fiscal year. I want to share with you kind of how a deal would look.
Well, before you go there, what restrictions are there as far as type of industries?
Any legal industry. Keep in mind there's going to be folks that are going to be approaching us with the medical marijuana, and
Sure.
That's here in the state of Arizona. It's still federally illegal. So we've not bitten on those requests yet. So, but anyway, so yeah, we're open to any legal industry. We've got a group that came in our conference room last week that wants to do body sculpting. So listen, it's really our first issuer sells mattresses over the internet. I mean, just so you know, we are open to any legal industry.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. So, with regards to what a deal would look like, let's say an entrepreneur is looking to raise $500,000 to execute their business model. Their social marketing message could be, we're looking for 250 Arizona residents to put in $2,000 each. Those 250 residents would be buying common stock equity in that company at a predetermined value, and so that's a complete flip-flop of traditional funding. Usually you go to the bank and you request the $500,000 and they look at your financials and they tell you no unless you can prove that you don't need the money. Whereas this, if let's say that we've got a restaurant and they want to expand and they have a loyal following, and those patrons can become equity owners in the expansion. So now all they need is 250 residents or family and friends to come together, put in a predetermined amount that's determined by the entrepreneur to raise the entire amount to execute their business model. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. And this is alternative financing. This is where you go if the bank says no.
Talk about risks. What happens to someone like myself? When I put $1,000, $2,000 in, what are my risks?
It's risky. These are startup businesses. They have a business plan. They have an industry they've chosen. They have historical management skills. And as an investor, you go into it knowing that you could potentially lose all of your investment. But what I recommend is you look at the management team, look at the industry, look at their business model, and determine for yourself if they have a high probability of success. And then once you've done that analysis, you can decide whether or not you want to invest or not. But this is risky. This is just like any other investment. You could risk losing all of your money.
Is it true, though, if I do invest and let's say they don't get they have a goal of, let's say, $250,000 and they don't reach that, do I get my money back?
Automatically.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So it's not quite that simple, but it is automatically, and here's what you need to know. So in the example of raising, let's say, $1 million, that entrepreneur needs to get to 80% of their goal. That's the threshold. If they get to 80% of their goal, then the money is given to the entrepreneurs, and the investors are get the stock or the subscription agreement duly executed at that moment. If the entrepreneur gets to $750,000 and his time runs out, then the money is automatically given back to the investors, no questions asked.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot better than losing it completely if you put it into stock market or what have you. How do you make this company better? And I know it's at your early stages. You just started. You launched the first entrepreneur, got the mattress company going, and you're moving that forward. But in your opinion of what you know about business and about people, how do you feel this will be better? How are you going to make it better?
Well, a couple of ways. I'm going to start with, education, right? I mean, as of right now, most people don't even know this exists. I mean, so our job is to communicate the facts as they are, the way the law is written, and get more people to engage in the process and learn about what is intrastate equity crowdfunding and what's available to Arizona residents. And those are big words, and sometimes it gets a little bit intimidating, but this is what we're here to do, is try to communicate what it is that we do and educate. The second thing is provide amazing resources. I mean, when entrepreneurs approach us, they may not be ready for equity crowdfunding, and our job is to introduce them to folks that can help them get ready. We have a relationship with Fund Ready Advisors, which is one of our resources, but folks might need help with their business plan, a professional video, social marketing expertise. They might need help with their projections. When folks come to us, we provide them a Fund Ready 10-step process, and they have to complete those 10 steps in order to make it on our web portal for hosting of their project. And what we do is we make sure that they meet the Arizona equity crowdfunding provisions, and then we've added a couple items to help increase their probability of success.
Awesome. How do people get a hold of you or David, or what contact information can you give everybody?
I tell you what, on the website there's all of our contact information. I encourage people to go to the website. It's fundmybusinessaz.com.
Pretty easy.
So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to raise capital, click the Raise Capital button, and there's a page there they can fill out about their project. It's emailed to me. I look at it. I call you. We have a conversation. I see how I can help you. I'll give you resources. If you're an investor and you want to check out projects, log in, sign up. I'll get your email contact information, and then as new projects come available, we'll reach out to you so you know that we have new projects coming on. And then lastly, if you just need to talk, call me. You can call me at my cell number. That is 602-909-6677, same number I've had for over 20 years. So anyway, we're easy to reach. My motto is, if you can't reach us, you're not trying.
That is true. Nick, what drives you?
I love helping people, but I'm a daddy, and my two kids are 9 and 10 right now, and they drive me. I take them to school in the morning, and they want an update on how Daddy's doing by the end of the day. So my critical path timeline is driven by my two youngins, and we're enjoying that very much. So enjoying being a father, and I enjoy helping people. I mean, this gives me great pride to help entrepreneurs raise capital and fulfill their business model and their dreams. It's super cool.
Yeah, well, we've been around that block a time or two together, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
What's your ambition? What ambitions do you have? I mean, the scope of the kids and businesses, and what you're doing, the businesses you've done. What's your ambition?
I want to be a better Christian. I just recently became a member of Highlands Church, and you and I have had a chance to fellowship several times. So, and I think part of my Christian walk is helping people, and I think that's why this business is so well suited for my skill set. So, being a better Christian, being a better husband, being a better parent, helping entrepreneurs, giving them more resources. It's all a part of who I am, I guess. My ambition, that's it.
Awesome. Nick, thank you so much.
Joe, thank you. No, absolutely.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us, and please visit fundmybusinessaz.com for Nick and David, and see what they've got going on. If you've got any information or you want to just make some comments, comment below. Please subscribe to the channel, the show. We're trying to raise this up so we can take companies like Nick's and get them out there. So please subscribe, and as always, to your success.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.